Welcome back to English Compass. You know that feeling. The moment your mouth opens, but your mind goes blank, the exact word disappears. The sentence falls apart. You see the other person's face change slightly, not angry, just confused. Your heart beats faster, your throat feels tight. You smile weakly. You say, "Sorry, my English is not good." And you step back, quiet again, safe again, stuck again. If you have lived this moment, you are not alone. I have lived it dozens of times, maybe hundreds. For years, I believed that mistakes were proof of failure. I thought every wrong word, every paused sentence, every misunderstood phrase was a sign that I was not ready, not smart enough, not talented enough. I treated English like a test I was failing, not a tool I was learning. Then I experienced a moment of complete breakdown. A presentation, a conversation, a chance to speak in front of people who mattered. I froze. I stumbled. I watched my own progress slip away in real time. I left feeling heavy, defeated, ready to quit. But that moment did not end my journey. It restarted it. Today, I will share that exact story with you. I will explain why failure is not the opposite of fluency. I will show you how mistakes become your most honest teachers. And I will give you a clear step-by-step system to turn every stumble into strength. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Place your hand over your heart. Say this out loud. I do not fear mistakes. I learn from them. Every error is a step forward. Good. Let's walk through the fire together. The day everything went wrong. Let me take you back to a Tuesday afternoon. I had been invited to speak at a small professional meetup. The topic was simple: my experience working in a multicultural team. I knew the subject well. I had written notes. I had practiced in front of a mirror. I had repeated my opening sentence until it felt smooth. I felt prepared. I walked to the front of the room. 10 people were watching. I smiled. I began, "Thank you for coming. Today I want to share." And then my mind emptied. Not slowly, instantly, like a light switch turning off. I knew the next word in my native language, but the English version vanished. I stood there. 1 second, 2, 3. The silence felt heavy. I tried to force it out. I said, "We work together, many culture, very good for learn." It was broken. It was clumsy. It was not what I practiced. I saw a few polite smiles. I felt heat in my face. I rushed through the rest. I skipped my main points. I ended early. I walked back to my seat feeling invisible. The worst part was not the mistake. The worst part was the story I told myself afterward. I'm not ready. I should not have spoken. People think I am unprofessional. I replayed the moment in my head for days. I avoided eye contact. I skipped the next meetup. I told myself I would only speak again when I was perfect. But here is what I did not see in that moment. Everyone makes mistakes. Not just learners. Native speakers do too. They pause, they restart. They say, "Wait, let me find the right word." They do not collapse under the weight of a broken sentence. They adjust, they continue, they recover. My failure was real, but my reaction to it was the real problem. I treated a temporary stumble as a permanent label. I confused one messy moment with my entire ability, and that confusion kept me silent for months. Vocabulary in context. Listen to these 4 phrases. They will anchor today's lesson. Temporary stumble. A short moment of difficulty that does not define your overall skill. Permanent label. A false belief that one mistake proves you will never improve recovery skill. The ability to continue speaking smoothly after an error. Emotional weight. The heavy feeling of shame or fear that follows a visible mistake. Repeat after me. Temporary stumble. Permanent label. Recovery skill. Emotional weight. Good. Keep these in mind. They separate what actually happened from what you told yourself about it. Grammar focus, past narrative structure. Notice how I build a clear timeline. I had practiced until it felt smooth. Past perfect. action before another past action. I stood there, 1 second, 2. Simple past, completed actions in sequence. I rushed through the rest and ended early. Simple past. Plus conjunction, connected past events. We use these patterns to tell stories clearly and naturally. Repeat after me. I had prepared carefully, but I forgot the words. I stood quietly and then I spoke slowly. I made a mistake and I felt embarrassed. Perfect. You are practicing natural storytelling structure, the avoidance trap and the silence cycle. After that day, I built a quiet habit. Avoidance. I told myself I was taking a break, but really, I was hiding. I stopped volunteering for speaking opportunities. I skipped language exchange meetings. I watched videos instead of practicing. I read instead of speaking. I created a comfortable bubble where I could not fail, because I could not fail if I did not try. But avoidance has a hidden cost. Every time you skip practice, your brain receives a silent message. English is dangerous. Mistakes are unacceptable. Stay safe. This message grows stronger with every skipped day. It becomes a cycle. Fear, silence, less practice, slower progress. More fear. You do not notice it at first. But slowly, your confidence shrinks. Your speaking muscles weaken. Your hesitation grows. I remember looking at my notebook 3 months later. It was full of vocabulary lists, grammar notes, reading summaries. But my speaking page was blank. I had been studying English like a library book, not like a conversation. I knew more words, I understood more rules, but I could not use them under pressure, because I had removed the pressure from my life. That is when I faced a hard truth. You cannot build speaking confidence in silence. You can only build it through exposure, through mistakes, through recovery, through choosing to speak even when your voice shakes. I decided to test a new idea. I would not aim for perfect speech. I would aim for honest speech. I would allow myself to fail publicly. I would track what went wrong. I would practice recovery. I would stop treating mistakes as enemies. I would start treating them as information. This shift did not happen overnight. It required patience. It required self-compassion. It required me to separate my worth from my words. But once I made the choice, the silence broke. Not with a perfect sentence, with a brave one. Speaking practice, reframing negative self-talk. Pause the video. Listen carefully. I will give you a fear-based thought. Then I will give you a growth-based response. Repeat both. Feel the shift in energy. Fear. I made a mistake. I sound unprofessional. Growth. I made a mistake. I'm learning how to recover. Fear. People will judge my English. Growth. People will understand my message. That is what matters. Again, clear, steady. I made a mistake. I'm learning how to recover. People will understand my message. That is what matters. Good. You are training your mind to respond to failure with curiosity, not criticism. Vocabulary in context. Avoidance cycle, the pattern of skipping practice to prevent mistakes, which actually slows progress. Silent message, the unconscious belief your brain forms when you repeatedly avoid challenges. Honest speech, communication that prioritizes truth and clarity over perfection. Self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness when you struggle instead of shame. Repeat after me, avoidance cycle, silent message, honest speech, self-compassion. You are not weak because you hesitate. You are human, and humans grow through practice, not perfection. Grammar note, contrast and concession connectors. Notice how I compare opposing ideas. Although I studied daily, I avoided speaking. Even though mistakes feel uncomfortable, they build real confidence. I wanted to stay safe, whereas growth requires risk. These connectors show mature, balanced thinking. They are essential for B1, B2 discussion. Repeat after me. Although I felt nervous, I chose to speak anyway. Even though I made errors, I kept the conversation moving. I wanted to avoid embarrassment, whereas I needed to face it. Excellent. You are practicing advanced sentence structure in a meaningful context. The mindset shift, failure as feedback. What if I told you that every mistake contains a hidden instruction, not a punishment, an instruction? Your brain is not failing when you stumble. It is collecting data. It is showing you exactly where your practice needs adjustment. Think of a GPS. When you take a wrong turn, it does not say, "You are a bad driver." It says, "Recalculating, new route ahead." Mistakes work the same way. They are not verdicts. They are directions. They tell you, this tense needs review. This word family is unclear. Your pronunciation pattern needs adjustment. I began applying this idea through a simple method, the diagnostic pause. After every speaking attempt, I asked 3 questions. What exactly went wrong? Why did it happen? Lack of practice? Nerves? Unclear meaning? What is one small adjustment I can make next time? I stopped saying, "I failed." I started saying, "I collected feedback." This tiny language change shifted my entire approach. I was no longer a student being tested. I was a researcher gathering evidence. I also learned that recovery matters more than prevention. Native speakers do not avoid mistakes. They manage them. They use bridge phrases. They rephrase. They ask for clarification. They smile and continue. I started practicing these recovery tools deliberately. I built a small library of phrases. Let me rephrase that. What I mean is, actually, I meant to say, "Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let me continue." These phrases are not signs of weakness. They are signs of communication control. They give you time to think without breaking the conversation. They turn panic into process. Interactive practice, mistake analysis drill. Pause the video. I will give you a common mistake. We will run the diagnostic pause together. Mistake. I go to the meeting yesterday and I present my idea. Question 1. What went wrong? Tense mismatch. Question 2. Why? Rushing plus nervousness plus weak past tense habit. Question 3. Adjustment. Practice past tense verbs aloud daily. Use a bridge phrase. Let me rephrase that. I went to the meeting yesterday and presented my idea. Now try one yourself. Think of a recent mistake. Answer the 3 questions silently. Then say the corrected version out loud. Good. You just turned failure into feedback. Vocabulary in context. Diagnostic pause. A short moment of reflection to identify the root cause of an error. Feedback loop. The cycle of mistake, analysis, adjustment, improvement. Communication control. The ability to manage flow, recovery, and clarity during speech. Researcher mindset. Viewing practice as data collection instead of performance testing. Repeat after me. Diagnostic pause. Feedback loop. Communication control. Researcher mindset. You are not failing. You are mapping your progress. Grammar focus. Second conditional for hypothetical problem solving. Notice how I explore possibilities. If I treated mistakes as feedback, I would practice more openly. If you used bridge phrases, you would buy time to think. If we stopped fearing errors, fluency would develop faster. The second conditional, if plus past simple, would plus base verb, helps us imagine better habits and outcomes. It is powerful for growth planning. Repeat after me. If I tracked my mistakes calmly, I would improve faster. If you practiced recovery daily, you would feel more confident. If we embraced errors, learning would feel lighter. Perfect. You are practicing advanced grammar while building a growth mindset. The 4-step fail-forward framework. Mindset needs structure. Here is your 4-step fail-forward framework. It turns every mistake into a practice opportunity. It is simple. It is repeatable. It works for speaking, writing, listening, and daily conversation. Step 1. Pause and breathe. Stop the panic spiral. When you make a visible error, your body reacts. Heart rate rises, breath shortens, mind races. This is normal, but panic blocks recovery. Your first job is not to fix the sentence. Your first job is to calm your nervous system. Take one slow breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Remind yourself, this is temporary. I can recover. One breath breaks the panic loop. It returns control to your brain. Step 2. Name the mistake. Neutral observation. Do not judge. Do not label. Simply observe. Say silently or softly, I mixed past and present. I used the wrong preposition. I forgot the article. Naming the error removes its emotional power. It becomes a technical detail, not a personal failure. You cannot fix what you refuse to see clearly. Step 3. Extract the lesson. Pattern recognition. Ask, what habit needs adjustment? Is it a grammar gap? A pronunciation blind spot? A vocabulary gap? Nerves? Identify the pattern. Do not overcomplicate. Choose one focus. Example, I rush under pressure. I need to slow my speaking pace by 20%. Or, I avoid past tense. I need daily verb practice. Clarity beats complexity. Step 4. Apply and repeat. Deliberate practice. Turn the lesson into action. Practice the corrected form aloud 3 times. Use it in a new sentence. Record it. Listen back. Adjust. Repeat tomorrow. Deliberate practice means targeting the weak point intentionally, not hoping it fixes itself. Repetition builds neural pathways. Pathways build automaticity. Automaticity builds fluency. Speaking practice. Walk through the 4 steps. Pause the video. I will guide you through a full cycle. Follow along out loud. Step 1. Breathe. I pause. I calm my mind. Step 2. Name it. I used goed instead of went. Step 3. Extract. I need to review irregular past verbs. Step 4. Apply. Yesterday, I went to the store. Last week, I went to the park. I will practice 3 more times. Good. You just transformed a mistake into a training session. Vocabulary in context. Panic spiral. The rapid increase in anxiety that blocks clear thinking. Neutral observation. Describing an error without shame or self-attack. Pattern recognition. Identifying recurring mistakes to target practice effectively. Deliberate practice. Focused, intentional repetition to strengthen weak areas. Repeat after me. Panic spiral. Neutral observation. Pattern recognition. Deliberate practice. You are not avoiding failure. You are using it. Grammar note. Modal verbs for self-regulation. Notice how I frame guidance. You should pause before reacting. You can name the mistake calmly. You must practice the correction daily. Modals express recommendation, possibility, and gentle necessity. They are perfect for building sustainable habits. Repeat after me. I should breathe before I speak. I can observe my errors without judgment. I must repeat the corrected form until it feels natural. Excellent. You are programming your brain for consistent, compassionate practice. Your 14-day growth through mistakes routine. Progress compounds through routine. Here is your 14-day growth through mistakes framework. It takes 15 minutes daily. It is gentle. It is focused. It turns hesitation into habit. Follow it. Protect it. Let it rewire your relationship with English. Day 1-4. Mistake journaling. Track without shame. After every practice session, write down 1 mistake. Do not write 10. Write 1. Use 3 columns. What I said, what went wrong, corrected version. Example, I eat lunch yesterday. Tense error. I ate lunch yesterday. Read it aloud. Close the book. Do not dwell. Tracking builds awareness. Awareness builds adjustment. Day 5 to 8. Recovery drills. Practice self-correction in real time. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Speak out loud on a simple topic. When you make a mistake, do not stop. Use a bridge phrase. Correct it naturally. Continue. Example. I think it very important. Let me rephrase that. I think it's very important. Moving on. This trains your brain to recover without panic. Recovery is fluency in action. Day 9 to 11. Exposure. Therapy. Seek low-stakes speaking opportunities. Join a short online chat. Call a language partner. Speak to a cashier in English. Keep it brief. Keep it real. Focus on completion, not perfection. Track only one metric. Did I speak? Yes or no. That is your win. Exposure reduces fear. Fear shrinks when you face it repeatedly. Day 12 to 14, reflection and pattern mapping. Identify recurring errors. Review your journal. Circle mistakes that appear twice or more. This is your focus area. Spend 10 minutes practicing only that pattern. Irregular verbs, prepositions, article usage, pronunciation. Target it deliberately. Repeat corrected forms aloud. Close the cycle. Progress is not random. It is directed. Daily template practice. Pause the video. Fill this template out loud. Today I noticed. The pattern is. Tomorrow I will practice. Say it twice. Clear, steady, committed. Grammar focus, future with will. Plus present continuous for commitment. Notice how I frame ongoing progress. I will track one mistake daily. I'm practicing recovery phrases this week. You will see your confidence grow through repetition. Will shows commitment. Present continuous shows active habit formation. Together they build momentum. Repeat after me. I will name my errors calmly. I am practicing deliberate correction today. You will feel your hesitation shrink with time. Perfect. You are building a sustainable learning rhythm. Your 14-day growth challenge. You do not need to be perfect to be fluent. You need to be willing to stumble, willing to recover, willing to try again. Every fluent speaker you admire has a hidden history of broken sentences, awkward pauses, and visible mistakes. The difference is not talent. The difference is response. They did not hide their errors. They used them. They did not fear failure. They fed on it. I used to see mistakes as proof I was falling behind. Now I see them as proof I am moving forward. I used to measure success by silence, but now I measure it by courage. I used to wait for perfect conditions. Now I create them through daily practice. And daily practice in time becomes quiet confidence. I invite you to a 14-day challenge, 15 minutes daily. Follow the Growth Through Mistakes framework. Track your errors, practice recovery, seek exposure, map your patterns. Notice the fear shrink. Notice the flow grow. Notice English become a conversation, not a test. When you are ready, comment below. Day 1. I embrace mistakes as feedback. I speak, I recover, I grow. I will read every comment. I will reply to your journey. This channel is not a stage for flawless speakers. It is a workshop for brave learners. And you belong here. Subscribe to English Compass for more honest stories, graded listening practice, and step-by-step fluency systems. Turn on notifications. Your next breakthrough is not in a perfect sentence. It is in your next brave attempt. Before you go, place your hand over your chest. Repeat this final line with me. I do not fear failure. I learn from it. Every mistake is a teacher. Every attempt is progress. I speak. I adjust. I continue. See you tomorrow. Keep showing up. Keep practicing. Keep growing. The language is yours.